everyone, and thank you very much for joining me on another of my videos. Today I'm out with one intention, and that is to try and capture some of the beautiful autumnal colour that we've got at the moment. I think considering the year that we've had with the pandemic, this nice bright vibrant colour that we've got at the moment is really uplifting. So I'm out miles from anyone, I believe, and just enjoying exploring, looking for some nice autumn colour, and I've certainly found that behind me in this scene here. So when I first found this scene, there was actually quite a lot more sunlight and it really caught your attention, but I actually prefer the shot with the sun gone, and that is because the left tree, there's four trees here. There's a few actually smaller ones at the right, but we'll call them four separate groupings of trees. The one on the left wasn't getting the sunlight, so the overall exposure of the scene wasn't really well balanced. So I've waited until the sun has went behind some clouds. We've now got a bit more of an even light across the scene. It's being side lit, and it's really letting those beautiful autumn colours come to life. So I'm really pleased about that. I've also got on the polarizer just to enhance that even more. And the final thing I want to say about this scene behind me here is that it's on a significant slope. So that is one of the things that I was drawn to in this scene, apart from obviously the wonderful vibrant colour. And if I have my camera level, it really looks like the trees are on a slight angle, and that's part of the charm of the scene. I could obviously make my camera not be level and therefore level the trees, but it loses its impact. So I'm shooting with the camera level, but that's just letting the natural slope appear in my image, and I really like that. It's just a nice little touch. If the ground had been flat and the trees had been perfectly vertical, I don't think I would like the image as much. So I'll show you the image that I've captured here, and then I'm off to see if I can find anything else. So I've found another scene here which is absolutely beautiful to my eye. We've got some fantastic autumn colours going on in this scene. Really vibrant, and again I'm using the polarizer just to bring out the real nature of these colours and give it a nice warm glow. So there's been some fog that's come in. I can see it off in the distance in this direction at the moment, and it really came in quite close, but it's never actually entered the area that I'm in at the moment. But it's definitely softened the background of my scene a little bit. There's just some subtle mist off in the distance, and I think that's going to work really well and let these autumn colours flourish. So what I'm doing in this scene here is I'm taking in this tree in front of me which has got some brown leaves, and I think that's working very well with this beautiful copper colour in the background, which I really like. I also quite like this little area underneath the tree. There's a lot of fallen leaves, dead leaves, and we've got some bits of long grass growing as well, and I think that looks quite nice in the image. Something I've been very careful of when setting up my composition is the positioning of this tree in relation to the ones in the distance. So I quite like this tree here, which I think balances nicely with that third tree off in the left. I think that's got nice just balance in the composition. And I've been very careful in the positioning of this tree in relation to the V-shaped gap in the two largest trees behind me. If I just move you across a little bit here, we'll maybe have a look at that. So as you can see here, if I just stop roughly there, this tree here, if my perspective is too low, it interferes with the V-shaped gap up in the top. But taken from obviously not that height of the drone, but roughly from that angle, This tree here I think balances quite nicely with the one that's just creeping in the left of the frame in the distance. But an absolutely fantastic scene, beautiful colours, and again you should see on the drone the slope of the ground here. So my camera again will be level, but it will look in the image that it's not. But it's the slope of the ground, the slope of the terrain, and similarly just to the previous image that I took, in my opinion it really enhances the scene and gives it some extra character. The rain really is falling quite heavily now. I've been sheltering under this tree and it's quite nice listening to it coming down through this tree, landing in all the leaves. But in terms of photography, I'm going to call it for today. I've got roughly an hour and 10-15 minutes to go until sunset, so I've got plenty of light left in theory. But unfortunately the weather is closed in. There's some mist, which is nice, but the light has really went. It's quite dark. And the type of photographs that I was hoping to capture today, and I've hopefully got two nice ones that I like, I'm not really going to get those anymore today, so I'm going to call it. Let me interrupt myself for a minute. As you can see and hear me talk about, the weather had changed significantly, and most importantly the light was now very poor for taking photographs. I was keen on spending a bit more time where I took my second photograph, as I saw more potential, but unfortunately I couldn't do that on this day due to the deteriorating light. However, I did return a few days later when there was some mist lingering around. I worked on a new composition and I captured the following photograph, which I am really pleased with. But I really hope you've enjoyed watching. I really do appreciate it. Autumn is such a fantastic time to be out if you're a photographer. It really gets us excited, and I hope a little bit of my joy being out today has come across in this video. As I just said, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.